Welcome to World War 2.5. It's happening in real time. Trump is taking credit for everything. He just did 2 interviews. He's beefing with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson did an interview with Senator Ted Cruz. Everyone's fighting about Iran, especially Iran. Iran has been releasing unimaginable amounts of propaganda. They released a propaganda video about how they are trying to assassinate Trump. I'm not even joking. All right, they actually said it themselves again. All right, they doubled down on the Trump assassination attempts. They keep going. They said that, last night was going to be a historic night, so historic the world has never seen. People will talk of last night for centuries. And they shot 2 missiles at Israel, and one was intercepted, and the other missile landed in Jordan, a whole other country. Not exactly the biggest flex from Iran of all times, but they are still trying. Demise of a country speedrun. Trump is getting involved, and he actually just did an interview that I didn't watch it. He actually just did this right now while I was streaming, so we're about to watch this hot off the press. But I have to tell you some of the wildest shit you've ever seen in the world. MAGA is collapsing. They're battling. It's quite the battle. But it all starts with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. So, to give you the quick TLDR on what happened so far, Iran is a terrorist sponsor. They sponsor multiple terrorist organizations in the Middle East that all have been attacking Israel constantly. Israel does not like Iran because Iran keeps threatening to wipe them off the map, and Iran enriched uranium to a 60% grade, and they had enough to make, allegedly, 9 atomic bombs worth of nukes. Trump has forever said they should not be getting nukes, and Israel decided, you know what, we're not waiting until they get nukes, so we are actually going to be bombing their nuclear facilities. That is the TLDR so far. Donald Trump walks out 4 days into the war, and he tweets this: "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran has good sky trackers and other defensive equipment and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to the American-made, conceived, and manufactured stuff. No one does it better than the good old USA." Now, the word "we" is doing a lot of heavy lifting. I'm not even gonna lie, okay? The word "we" is doing a lot of heavy lifting because, the U.S. didn't do anything. I mean, the U.S. gave Israel weapons, and they sponsored some Israeli defense, but they didn't actually do anything. Not gonna lie, but I'm more than happy to take credit. Listen, I'm more than happy to take credit. Sure, why not? So we have total control over the skies of Iran. Essentially means the Israeli Air Force has complete and total control over the skies in Iran. A lot of people are unaware of how fucked Iran is because of all the propaganda, but Iran is mega fucked. For anyone that's actually been following this super closely, like I have, yeah, Iran is mega giga fucked, like 1000% fucked. It's completely over for them, and Trump knows that. So Trump, we have complete and total, and to be fair, Trump did give Israel weapons, so to be fair, I think the "we" is warranted. Let bro take all the credit, and let me just say this, because a lot of people are freaking the fuck out. Not one American soldier was on the ground or in the air, okay? I want this to be clear. Trump took, all right, he controls the skies in Iran without losing a man, without using a soldier. This might be one of the most insane situations of all time. Did you see that Iran's TV was hacked and by Israel and they were posting propaganda? Yeah, we're going to be covering that later. You have to see how fucking insane this got. So Donald Trump made a few other tweets. "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but he is safe there. We are not going to take him out. Kill." Thank you for clarifying, Mr. President. "At least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention in this matter." Yeah, Trump is acting full mob boss. He's just sitting there. He's doing his thing. And then you have people actually freaking the fuck out. "We're not dying for Israel." Yeah, we know. No one's dying for Israel. Israel absolutely fucking butt blasted these motherfuckers. It's crazy. It's insane. And honestly, this is a net positive on the entire fucking world. Because realistically, not gonna lie, no one wants Iran to have nukes. Unless you're a complete grifter retard. Now, Trump then tweets, just out of nowhere, "Unconditional surrender," and that was it. That's the whole fucking tweet. I don't even know, man. Like, this is wild, bro. Bro's actually cooking. So you have to realize and remember, for the last couple of weeks, Trump has been trying to make a peace deal with Iran, where Iran denuclearizes. Iran didn't denuclearize, and it's over. It's over. So before I show you the first Trump interview, I wanna show you some crazy shit first. All right, I want to show you some crazy shit. So, to be clear, there's a lot of warring on Twitter, but let me show you this poll on CNN, okay? Because I think this is super important.
And overall, I feel like there's more support for Donald Trump's positions than is comically acknowledged. Oppose Iran getting a nuclear weapon. I mean, look at this. 79% of adults agree on that. They agree with Donald Trump.
79% of adults agree with Donald Trump. Iran should not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. 83% of Republicans, 79% of independents, 79% of Democrats. When you get 79% of Democrats and 83% of Republicans agreeing on anything, you know that that position is the very clear majority in this country. And so the American public is...
So no matter what you see on Twitter, no matter how many botted retards you find, all right, with millions of likes on their tweets saying, no, Iran good, no, know that they are a minority. Botted the fuck out of, and you have no idea how many people in Iran are liking these tweets. Bro, you have no idea who's making these tweets, bro. You have no clue who's making these tweets. Like, come on, dude. Like, dude, you have this retard. All right, this is my favorite retard on Twitter, actually. He might be my favorite. Red Pill Media. I am an American citizen, born and raised in America. I refuse to die for Israel. Another old tweet of his is, I love Pakistan. I would sacrifice my life for Pakistan. Okay. Interesting. Weird. Interesting. Another interesting thing is, this is a guy named Abdul who lives in Pakistan. I am not even joking. So this tweet with 6 million views and 120,000 likes. This is not a fucking American guy. This is Abdul from Pakistan. All right. Like, come on, dude. When it comes to America, yes, you have your retards, all right? Look at this retard over here, Stu Peters. Iran is not my enemy. You know, the guys that say death to America. Israel is my enemy. We made the mistake of fighting on the wrong side of World War II. Let's not make the same mistake for World War III. Now, who the fuck is liking these tweets, man? Like, come on, dude. Are we serious? Are we serious, man? Or like, bro, no one thinks you fought on the wrong side of history in World War II, okay? Please stop. Please stop being a bitch. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Like, so obviously.
With Donald Trump, they definitely oppose Iran getting nuclear weapons.
Yeah, everyone is on the same page. Iran should not have nuclear weapons.
So this is a nuance here, but, Trump and Netanyahu both arguing that Iran is close to being capable of making a nuclear weapon. If that is the case, what is the feeling of Americans as to whether the United States should get involved in this conflict?
You see, that's a whole other question. Now, there's really 2 points to this discussion. Point 1, should Iran have a nuclear weapon? Point 2, should America get involved in the war? When it comes to Iran getting a nuclear weapon, 83% are Republicans, 79% of everybody says that no, they should not be getting a nuclear weapon, and that's correct. The second point is the whether America should be involved in the war, and that is a much more debated topic.
Right. If you buy Donald Trump's theory of the case, and I think that's important to note, this is polling from April. If Iran's trying to make a nuclear weapon, look at this. Overall, you get the slight plurality. I mean, it's within the margin of error, but the slight plurality of Americans actually favor U.S. airstrikes compared to 47% opposing it. Now,
most people want America to airstrike Iran so they don't get nuclear weapons. This is the most obvious shit in the universe, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This is the most obvious shit in the world, all right? Bro, dude, they say death to America in their speeches. They say directly they want to kill Americans in their shit. They have killed 1,000 Americans over multiple wars and multiple conflicts. Dog, they are not your friend. Obviously, we should be removing their capability of getting nuclear weapons.
Now, here's the other nugget I'll note, right? There's been a lot of talk online and on social media and in podcasts of a divide within the Republican ranks. But here on this question, if Iran's trying to make a nuclear weapon, look at that. 69% of Republicans, the clear vast majority of Republicans, favor U.S. airstrikes on Iran, on their nuclear facilities. But there is this substantial minority, 27%, who oppose such an idea. So it's not surprising you're hearing those other voices besides Donald Trump out there. There are plenty of them in the Republican ranks who oppose.
And we are going to be looking at that today.
The U.S. striking Iran if they're trying to make a nuclear weapon. But the clear majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump if, in fact, Iran is trying to make nuclear weapons. They do, in fact, potentially favor U.S. airstrikes.
And I personally think that if Israel could take care of them with just minor U.S. support, that would be the fucking goated shit in the universe. I'm sorry. That would be the best thing literally ever. Literally ever. You know, Israel does the dirty work. Not a single American soldier actually needs to be deployed, just with minor assistance. Like, dude, that's the craziest thing. Imagine winning a war without fighting in that war. Like, unironically, insanely goated shit. And Israel did, like, probably one of the most unbelievably pristine military operations, I think, ever in the history of warfare. So anyway, we'll see where this goes. I just think it's important to note this, okay? What's actually going on before we look at the discourse and discussions, when you actually look at the majority and minorities. So, anywho, look into this.
When you say 60, that's misleading when people hear that number, because they think 60% enrichment, 90% is what you need for a weapon. Actually, 90% of the work it takes to get to weapons-grade enrichment is getting to 60. Once you're at 60, you're 90% of the way there. You are, in essence...
So to be clear, they are currently at 60% enriched uranium. The United Nations has also said this, okay? This isn't just Israeli intelligence. The United Nations said that they got this far, that they broke all their sanctions. I showed this in my previous videos. But to be clear, this is Marco Rubio. Currently, he is the Secretary of Defense, and my prediction is he is soon going to be the new Supreme Leader of Iran. All right, I'm just saying, just calling it right here. All right, he will be the next Supreme Leader. It's going to be great.
A threshold nuclear weapons state, which is what Iran basically has become. They are at the threshold of a nuclear weapon. If they decided to do so, they could do so very quickly. If they stockpile enough of that 60% enriched, they could very quickly turn it into 90 and weaponize it. Yep. That's the danger we face right now. That's the urgency.
That is an existential threat to the world. Bro, they get nukes and it's World War III. So I am also pro-peace. I am also anti-war. But in my perspective, anti-war means don't let the terrorists get nuclear weapons because
here. That's why Israel feels urgency about it, and that's why we feel urgency about it, but not just us. Throughout the Gulf region, no country in the region wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
No shit.
And you also talk about not just a weapon. They have long-range missiles that they can deliver those weapons to. This is a very grave risk, and they are enriching at that level, and they're openly doing it, by the way. In fact, their Congress, for their legislative branch, actually passed a law requiring them to enrich at a certain level because JCPOA, the Obama deal with Iran, was canceled. So this is a critical...
So, by the way, you have to note something else important, because you see the arguments that everyone says that so many times we've heard from the United States and from Israel that Iran is getting close to a nuclear weapon. We've heard that in 2012, in 2015, in 2018, in 2021. We've heard it so many times that they're close to a nuclear weapon. But you have to realize there's a reason why every single one of those times they didn't get a nuclear weapon. Like, one was the Stuxnet virus... cyber warfare attack on Iran in 2012 that slowed them down and stopped them from getting a nuclear weapon. Then there was Obama deals and there was a Trump deal. Like, there were so many different things that stopped them from getting that nuke.
Moment. The president has made it a priority, and now people understand the urgency here because they are fairly close, too close for comfort to a nuclear weapon. We have to roll that back one way or another, and we hope it's peacefully and through the process of negotiation.
Awkward! Awkward! That's not happening anymore. Anywho, important to note, this is Tulsi Gabbard. A lot of people like quoting her and saying that she says that Iran is nowhere near getting enriched uranium.
In the past year,
but they're wrong.
We've seen an erosion of a decades-long taboo in Iran on discussing nuclear weapons in public, likely emboldening nuclear weapons advocates within Iran's decision-making apparatus. Iran's enriched uranium stockpile is at its highest levels and is unprecedented for a state without nuclear weapons.
We are all on the same page. They should not be having 60% enriched uranium. They have enough bombs, enough uranium to make 9 nuclear bombs. I feel like this is the most obvious shit in the universe. So this is literally what Tulsi Gabbard says. And Tulsi Gabbard, she's a head of intelligence in America, and she says this as well. I think it's very, very obvious that this is a real thing. Okay, what if Iran lied? Guys, let me tell you something. Okay, Trump said make a deal and we won't attack you. Why didn't they make a deal? They didn't make a deal because they were making nuclear bombs, bro. Obviously, or they would have just made a deal. Anyway, moving on. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Sorry, bro. You fafo, as they say. You fafo. All right, so this is what Speaker Mike Johnson had to say.
Iran was very close to nuclear capability. And President Trump has been crystal clear throughout his career in politics by saying that Iran can never have nuclear weapons. They would use it against Israel immediately, and they would use it against the U.S. if they could. So it had to be stopped. And I think most of the people in the world who think in common sense terms applaud that. The president wants peace in the region. He does not want to be a wartime president. But we have to protect our country, our citizens, and that's what this is about.
Completely true and accurate and correct. And every podcast bro on the planet thinks they know better. All the podcasters came together and say, but I thought Trump was anti-war. You are so retarded if you think that letting them get a nuclear weapon makes any sense at all. Right, dude, this is a compilation of Trump saying that Iran can't get a nuclear weapon.
You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. You cannot have a nuclear weapon.
You can't let Iran have nuclear weapons.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. You can't let that happen.
It's
Iran
simple,
can't
bro.
have a nuclear weapon. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. You can't give them nuclear weapons. Don't let Iran have nuclear weapons.
It keeps going. They have a 16-minute compilation of this. Trump has been insanely consistent. As you should, because Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. All right, now, to be clear, I want to show you that this is a very universally approved thing by every world leader. Every single world, except for maybe Putin, every single world leader has intelligence that is super happy that this is happening. All right, this is the Chancellor of Germany. Israel is doing the dirty work for us.
Die Israelis jetzt für ein Regime, das sehr viele in der Welt als einen Wirkfaktor wahrnehmen.
Frau Zimmermann, ich bin Ihnen dankbar für den Begriff Drecksarbeit. Das ist die Drecksarbeit, die Israel macht für uns alle.
Israel is doing the dirty work for all of us.
Wir sind von diesem Regime auch betroffen. Dieses Mullah-Regime hat Tod und Zerstörung mit Anschlägen, mit
Terror
Mord und
attacks,
Totschlag,
murder,
mit
bloodshed, Hezbollah, Hamas.
Am 7. Oktober 2023 in Israel. Das wäre ohne das Regime in Teheran niemals möglich. Ich kann nur sagen, größten Respekt davor, dass die israelische Armee den Mut gehabt hat, die israelische Staatsführung den Mut dazu gehabt hat, das
doing
zu
what
machen.
had to be done.
Wir haben Monate und Jahre weiter diesen Terrorregime gesehen und dann möglicherweise noch mit einer Atomwaffe in der.
Yeah, so basically every single person is on the same page here. Like, this is a very unanimously approved thing. All right, literally everyone was here. It is crazy how on the same page everyone is about this shit. Every single world leader agrees, right? Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba, Iran's nuclear development must be stopped. Like, bro, dude, everyone says this. Mark Carney, the second biggest world leader pussy on the planet right now. Canada reaffirms Israel's right to defend itself and ensures its security, blah, 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 blah. Iran's nuclear program has long since been a grave concern. Its missile attacks across Israel threaten regional peace. United Kingdom supports Israel's right of self-defense. And by the way, to be clear, this isn't any of those people I just showed you. This is the crown prince of the Iran regime that was overthrown by the government, the current government, the tyrannical religious extremist dictatorship. So this guy is in exile right now, and he's giving a message to the Iranian people. Because 80% of people in Iran are against the current Ayatollah regime.
و در حال سقوط است. خامنه‌ای همچون موشی هراسان زیر زمین پنهان شده و کنترل اوضاع را از دست داده است. آنچه آغاز شده برگشت ناپذیر است. آینده روشن است و ما با هم از این پیچ تند تاریخ عبور خواهیم کرد. در این روزهای دشوار دل من با همه شهروندان بی‌دفاعی است که آسیب دیدند و قربانی جنگ طلبی و تحکمات خامنه‌ای شدند.
Khamenei the warmonger.
من سالها کوشیدم تا میهنمان گرفتار آتش جنگ نشود. پایان جمهوری اسلامی، پایان جنگ 46 ساله آن با ملت ایران است.
Bro, dude, that's crazy.
دستگاه سرکوب رژیم در حال فروپاشی. ارزش همگانی لازم.
All it takes is a nationwide uprising. Bro, the exiled prince of Persia, okay, is coming out here to tell the people of Iran to fight back against these oppressors. Now is your chance to fight for freedom. Bro, you don't understand how fucking ridiculously oppressive Iran is. If a woman's hair is uncovered in the street, they execute her.
لازم است تا این کابوس برای همیشه پایان یابد. اکنون زمان ایستادن است. زمان بازپسی ایران. همه با هم از بندر عباس تا بندر انزلی، از شیراز تا اصفهان، از تبریز تا هدان، از مشهد تا اهواز، از شهر کرد تا کرمانشاه به صحنه بیاییم. آن رژیم را رقم بزنیم.
Now again, me personally, I don't want America to get involved in like some sort of regime war where they topple the current regime in Iran and let someone else do it. But if the country themselves decides, yo, we don't want these fucking mullah shits, yeah, bro, that would be awesome.
نگران فردای پس از سقوط جمهوری اسلامی نباشید. ایران دچار جنگ داخلی و بی‌ثباتی نخواهد شد. برای آینده ایران و
We have a plan for Iran's future.
شکوفایی‌اش ما برای 100 روز نخست پس از سقوط، دوران گذار و استقرار یک حکومت ملی و دموکراتیک.
A democratic government. Oh my God, that would be insane.
برای ملت ایران و به دست ملت ایران آماده. خطاب به نیروهای نظامی و انتظامی.
To the military. Bro, he's giving orders to the military. Holy shit.
امنیتی و دولتی که این روزها بسیاری از آنها به من پیام میفرستند. برای حفظ رژیمی که سقوط آن آغاز شده.
Dude, do not stand against the Iranian people for the sake of a regime whose fall has begun and is inevitable.
و حتمی است روبروی ملت ایران نایستید. خود را رژیم
Do not sacrifice yourselves for a decaying regime. Oh my God, he's cooking.
نکنید.
Oh Lord.
با ایستادن در کنار ملت جان خود حفظ کنید. در گذار از جمهوری اسلامی نقشی تاریخی ایفا کنید.
Play a historic role.
و در سخن آینده
The first Islamic Empire.
ایران رحیم باشید. ایران آزاد و آباد پیش روی ماست. باشد که به زودی کنار شما باشم.
May we be together soon. Yeah, so anyway, he kind of cooked here. This is the it is crazy, bro. This dude came from this is the Iranian crown prince from exile calling for an uprising in Iran. This is crazy, by the way. Now, before we get into the Tucker Carlson shit, Trump had some interesting things to say that may have stoked the coals just a wee bit, and we'll see where we go from there.
Mr. President, a question on deportations, Mr. President. You said last week this would be coming for farmers who have seen a lot of the workers they rely on taken away, but then DHS said this week that worksite enforcement would remain in place, that it's a cornerstone. So what's your message to farmers?
Bad people out of here first, and we're doing that. We're taking them out by the thousands. Murderers, drug dealers.
Yeah, get rid of them. Get rid of them.
People that are mentally insane from insane asylum. What they gave to us, fellas, they gave. Oh, do we have anybody in here that's a member of the? No, I don't think so. You've known all these people for a long time. Any illegal immigrants in here now?
Dude, he just turned around and he said, "Any illegal immigrants? Any of you guys illegal in the country?" Oh my God!
If they were, they'll find out.
Right. Oh my God!
They'll be checking you. You won't believe it. Your whole life will be destroyed because of this press conference. Watch, they'll destroy these people. I didn't want to tell them that before this stood up. They'll
Holy shit, Trump!
End up being he's a so and so. This one is from you know where. Don't worry. I think you're going to be okay.
Sure.
I'll be right behind you.
Thank you.
Far behind you. Right behind you.
God!
So look, we have to take care of our farmers. We have to take care of people that run leisure hotels. I mean, we have to take care of them. But most importantly,
dude,
we have to get
this guy's a fucking comedian. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Criminals out of our country. And Biden let in thousands and 11,888 murderers. Many of them murdered more than one person. Can you believe it? Many, almost 50% of them murdered more than one person. He let them into our country. They emptied out the jails of countries from all over the world, from the Congo, from Venezuela, from all over the place. They emptied out the jails, many of them. I would. If I were running one of the countries, I would have emptied out my prison population into the U.S., and many countries did. And we're getting them out. Okay, we're getting them out. Thank you very much. Let's watch this. Brian, go ahead. Are you okay?
I'm just going to follow up on the immigration real quickly. Yeah. Can you comment on the impact of the Trump card and how much?
All right.
We have a thing called the Trump card. This has not been done before or thought of. And for $5 million, this is usually people that would either be working for companies like Apple, I think, is going to buy a lot of them, because they can't get people into the country. You know, if you come in through the southern border, you have no problem. You can be a criminal, you can be a drug dealer, and you have no problem. But if you go and graduate number one in your class from a great school, you can't get a job because there's no access to getting it. You can't get a green card. So we're going to sell that to people, in some cases wealthy, in some cases not wealthy. They'll be paid for by universities. Look at Harvard. They got $53 billion.
True.
That whole thing is coming to
ridiculous.
an end. It's amazing
what
we found out. They have $53 billion. We gave them 5, 6, and some people say it's as much as $9 billion. So that's very much. They want to make a deal more than, I would say Harvard wants to make a deal more than Iran wants to make a deal, and Iran wants to make a deal. I mean, a lot of things are happening on a lot of fronts, Brian.
That is true.
A lot of good things are happening.
All right, let's go.
And
I'm
frankly,
ready.
you know, it's a little bit of a, as we used to say liberal, now they say progressive. I use the word liberal. Progressive's too nice a word because...
progressive is a shitty word, I'm not going to lie. Progressive is a shitty fucking word.
They're destroying the country. They're really destroying. These liberal politicians are destroying our country. Look what they've done. during Biden's 4 years. I mean, we're working on
Biden.
I mean, so much of our effort goes to getting people out of the country that should have never been here in the first place.
We're working so hard to fix a problem that was given to me.
It's not him. He had no idea what was going on. Everybody.
He was an auto pen.
It's
He was
other
just an
people.
auto pen.
It's Lisa and this one and that. All these people, all this scum that was around the Oval, the Oval Office or around the beautiful Resolute desk, telling this guy, here, do this, do that, and not even telling him. They just go over to the auto pen and sign whatever the hell they wanted to sign. Because say what you want about Biden, he wasn't for open borders. He wasn't for transgender for everybody. He wasn't for men playing in women's sports.
Bro, Biden was just an old fart that was being pulled around, and they fucking destroyed the country under his fake watch.
But he has no idea what the hell. He has no idea. And they were very upset. They wanted Bernie Sanders. And after about a week of this guy, they said, wait a minute, we just hit gold. This guy has no clue. He'll do anything we tell him. And then they realized they don't even have to get permission. They just go up to the auto pen. That's a subversion. That's a takeover of our government. And you people ought to start looking at it. That's a takeover. Not only did they cheat, I guess you saw yesterday came out with China and the license plates. Tens of thousands of cards.
Oh my God.
They used those cards to vote on the second election, my second.
By the way, this is true. It was just revealed that thousands of votes were actually from Chinese officials.
120.
I was gonna maybe make an entire video on that. That was actually revealed.
Because as everybody here knows, I won that election by a lot.
Oh God!
But the only good thing I can say is this is a must.
What? No, a lot of. Okay, let me show you. All right, since he brought it up. All right, this is a bit of a tangent. I know we're supposed to be talking about Iran, and we will. I'm trying to find it right now. The FBI has documents which reveal that the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, produced fake U.S. driver's licenses to skew the 2020 election with fake mail-in ballots for Joe Biden. FBI Director Kash Patel handed over the documents to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Huck Grassley. Holy crap. It is true. There was an alleged Chinese plot that did in fact introduce many fake votes. That is a real thing, by the way. And we'll see if we make that video. I might make that video. Definitely subscribe for future insane videos.
A much more historic term than I think I could have had as a second term. This is a much more historic election. And now we're going to put up a beautiful flagpole, and we're going to put up a flag. And I hope you enjoy it. And let's see how real people work. These are real people. You're not real people.
He's so right. All these fucking reporters.
Okay. Thank you very much. Close to 100 feet.
You have a meeting today with the Pakistani Army Chief of Staff. What are you looking forward to achieving diplomatically?
Well, I stopped a war.
All right, Iran drama.
Between Pakistan, I love Pakistan. I think Modi is a fantastic man. I spoke to him last night. We're going to make a trade deal with Modi of India. But I stopped the war between Pakistan and India. This man was extremely influential in stopping it from the Pakistan side, Modi from the India side, and others. And they were going at it, and they're both nuclear. I got it stopped. I don't think I had one story. Did I have one story written about it? I stopped the war between two major nations.
I did it. It was me. I stopped the war. No one gives me credit for it. I wouldn't even say it. That's what they're saying. I wouldn't say it.
Major nuclear nations. I don't think I had a story written about it, but that's okay. You know why? The people know.
The people know it was me. The fake news. CNN didn't have anything to say.
Did anybody write that story about the war? Did you write it? Oh, did you write it? You wrote it. Yeah.
Just a little bit of self-glaze. A little bit of self-glaze.
Did you get more adjustments that need to be made for Marine One departure?
No, we put it so that Marine One is very far away. We did it in conjunction with the Air Force, with everybody, and everybody signed off on it. Now we have to have it far away. It's very far from Marine One's out there. It's out in the field. So you have to have a certain distance. We're about 3 times that distance. Right. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Can you hear what you told Prime Minister Netanyahu?
There we go. There we go. There's some Iran. What's happening?
Getting involved?
Bro, give us something,
President Trump, ostensibly there to talk about his flagpoles.
That's fucking crazy. Dude, this guy's fucking crazy. There's this massive nuclear war on the brink of fucking destruction, man. Literally on the absolute brink. And this dude is just cooking. This dude is putting up flagpoles, man. All right, whatever. Anywho, there's a lot to talk about, especially in the Tucker Carlson drama. So this is an old post from The Atlantic in 2012. Tucker Carlson says, Iran deserves to be annihilated. Well, in fact, if you are that curious, I've shown this little compilation before, but I will show it again. I will show it one more time. Let's take a look at Tucker Carlson's old opinions and his new opinions. We have a lot to talk about in this regard. The drama is insanity.
I'm just struck by that in everything you see come from the government of Iran, there is anti-Semitism, which has got to be among the most off-putting things in the Western world. You know, I think what you say is you either stop your nuclear program or we will bring down an earthquake upon you using God's wrath.
So that was his opinion.
I do think, I'm sure I'm the lone voice in saying this, I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil.
So that also was his opinion.
Netanyahu says, no, we need to bomb the hell out of them. We need to defeat them like we defeated Saddam and Assad and Gaddafi. We need to take out this evil regime. That's his line.
So it's not about nukes, what you're saying. You're saying it's not about nukes, it's about regime change.
I think for sure.
Ex-Fox News host blasts complicit president for backing Israel after attacks in Iran. He says the real divide isn't between people who support Israel and people who support Iran or the Palestinians. The real divide is between those who casually encourage violence and those who seek to prevent it. Between warmongers and peacemakers. Who are the warmongers? They would include anyone who is calling Donald Trump today to demand airstrikes and other direct U.S. military involvement in the war with Iran.
Weird, to quote Rachel Ziegler. Weird. I'm just saying, it seems like bro flipped his lid a little bit. It seems like he almost changed his opinion just a wee bit. So we need to get into the Tucker Carlson of it all, because this dude has been beefing with Trump. Trump literally called him kooky Tucker Carlson just yesterday, actually, and he just responded today, just like an hour ago, to this conversation. So Tucker Carlson, I don't know how you get a cold sore with no lips, but he found a way. And he is interviewing Ted Cruz, a Republican senator, and Tucker Carlson is anti-war, he calls himself. I hate that phrase. I hate the anti-war phrase. Anyone that calls themselves anti-war is like saying, oh, I'm anti-rape. I am anti-pedophiles. Well, that's a crazy take you got there. Are you sure you're brave enough to say that? I fucking hate that take. Because the debate here is being anti-war in regards to not having war with a country, you know, if the country is developing nuclear weapons and they want to literally kill you. So Tucker Carlson, he took the stance of anti-war. They should not be at war with Iran.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
So this is a little clip that he posted before his full interview is out. His full interview is out now, but this is a little clip that he posted before the interview. This got 150,000 likes and 26 million views. This went super viral, and I think it's hilarious.
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
I'll show you the whole clip, and then I'll tell you my opinion.
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's, it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay.
No, it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I'm not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out his idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting Israel.
You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Are you ready to hear my opinion on all of this? Are you ready to hear my opinion of all of this? Tucker Carlson comes off like a complete retard. I know that it's like definitely a good gotcha moment, but I am absolutely shocked that he felt like this was definitely the thing to post, and I'm like actually shocked. So the first part of this is he's like, how many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
It's like, who fucking cares? So Luke Skywalker, how many people are on the Death Star? It's like, why the fuck does it matter? You don't want a terrorist nation to get nuclear weapons. Does it matter if there's 60 million, 90 million, or 150 million? Literally none of that matters. It does not matter. It is not an important thing at all. It is not relevant. in my opinion. The point is, you do not want a terrorist regime that says death to America to have nuclear weapons. That's the fucking point. It's not how many, if it's 92 million versus 96 million. It's like a completely irrelevant, like, gotcha trivia moment. Now, I was shocked, and he gives him like this disappointed look, like, how could you possibly not know that? This is literally everything. How could you go to war with a country if any people are in the country? I cannot believe this. Now, I'm actually shocked. I am literally shocked that he felt like this was definitely a good strategy to go. It's like, you don't even know that vanilla ice cream is the most popular ice cream flavor in Iran? You don't even know that? What starter Pokemon is the average Pokemon picked by an Iranian child? Well, I don't fucking care. It's completely irrelevant. You don't want them to have nukes. All right. So that's the first thing he said. I wanted to show you this clip in full because the next thing he says is, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
Why is it relevant whether it's
because
90 million or 80?
Ethnic mix of Iran.
All right.
And what,
this is the next question.
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
All right, that's his next question.
They are Persians and
What percent?
predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
it's not
Okay.
even... You don't know anything about Iran.
Except he's right. He's saying, oh, you don't even know anything about Iran. I can't believe you don't know anything about Iran. This is crazy. They are Persian, predominantly Shia. That is actually just a correct statistic, by the way, in case you were curious. Tucker Carlson, what's the ethnic mix of Iran? Ted Cruz, Persian, mostly Shia. Tucker Carlson, bizarre laugh. You don't know anything about Iran. However, yes, the vast majority of Iranians are Shia Muslims who primarily identify as Persia. He was completely right. He was literally completely correct with his answer, except Tucker Carlson laughs him off to make him look like a retard. All right, the next moment is also wild, where he basically says, you are breaking news that you are part of this war.
The U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not
at all.
bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting Israel.
Hikes. You're a senator. If you're saying...
I don't know why this is a gotcha moment either. I'm surprised because I don't know why this is a gotcha moment because realistically, no. He said we because Israel is an ally of America, because Israel gets money from America for weaponry, because Israel uses American weapons that they purchase from America with America's support. So, yes, that is why it's we. Israel shares intelligence with us as well. So that is why it's we. It's not we as in there are literally American bombers in the air and soldiers on the ground. It is shocking that he's like, this is a gotcha moment. Did you just declare war on Iran on this podcast? So, again, I don't know why he became such an Iran simp. It's actually crazy. It's like unironically shocking that he became an Iran simp. Especially because there are some other wild clips. So Ted Cruz retaliates on Twitter. Why does Tucker Carlson refuse to acknowledge the indisputable truth? Facts don't care about your feelings, Tucker. They won't bend to your narrative. Watch the full interview tomorrow where I call him out. The interview is already out, but look at this.
Okay. No, Iran did not try to assassinate the president during the last election. And
What? Look at the headlines. Iranian murder for hire plot against Trump revealed. As 2 New Yorkers also busted and planned to kill journalists.
By the way, if Iran did try to assassinate Trump, and we know that...
Justice Department announces murder for hire and related charges against IRGC, that's the Iranian asset, and 2 local operatives.
And why are we not at war with Iran? Okay.
Iran ordered an operative to assassinate Trump before the election, federal prosecutors say. So it is surprising how obtuse he is about it. I am actually shocked how obtuse he is about it. Now, I saw this clip. I wasn't even going to go here, but this is completely true. So we just saw him talking to Ted Cruz, and he was really, really intense in this interview, by the way. Like, incredibly brutal interview where he pressed him a lot. And honestly, I respect that. I am all for you pressing someone that you're interviewing. But dude, this is him talking to a charged rapist, Andrew Tate.
What are you charged with?
And he asks him, what are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Recruiting girls to make TikTok videos and stealing the money. So it's really a financial crime?
It looks that way.
I think the belief is
What?
that you were charged with...
There are court documents. He was being tried for sex trafficking and rape. Why are you coming in here with this shit?
Human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they found who
Except it wasn't TikTok.
say they're not victims have TikTok accounts. I mean, of course, these girls do nothing pornographic. They've never had sex with anyone, nothing
That is not true. They do pornographic content.
to do with that. So
But there is zero pushback on anything. Tucker Carlson doesn't do any pushback to a pimp, charged rapist, alleged sex trafficker.
they've picked TikTok.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No, they're accusing me. And
Yes! They were accusing him of violence.
That's the thing. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
And by the way, these charges presumably are public, so...
They're public, and this is extremely serious.
But why didn't you read them?
Well, the fact that you're not accused of a sex crime...
He literally is charged with rape.
Or violence, which I think most people don't really understand.
Yep.
And they can look it up.
Yep.
I mean, but you're not actually accused of...
Correct.
He is! He literally is!
Rape.
Correct.
He is charged with rape in England.
Selling anyone.
Correct.
Pimping.
Correct.
Okay.
He is. He literally is accused of all these things.
But to be clear, none of the charges pertain to sex.
No.
They are.
Rape.
They are.
Selling anyone.
Sex trafficking.
Slavery, moving people across international borders to pimp.
Yes, literally. Trafficking women to Romania was one of the charges. Or one of the allegations.
Them out.
No.
But I'm confused as to how what you're being accused of constitutes human trafficking.
Well, it's a very loose law.
It's a very loose law. So to be clear, this is how Tucker Carlson interviews alleged sex traffickers that basically admitted to doing it on camera. Loose law, the loose law of sex trafficking. This is him interviewing these people, compared to him interviewing Ted Cruz, fighting on behalf of Iran, a nation that he himself was all for bombing a few years ago. Something happened. Ted Cruz then posts this. What is the population of the Death Star? Incredibly corny, but we get the idea. Now, there is interesting drama regarding Tucker Carlson. This is Laura Loomer. I don't know anything about her, but apparently Tucker Carlson lied about being a mouthpiece for Qatar money. 2 days ago, Tucker Carlson went on Bannon's War Room. All right, we'll just watch the actual clip, and we'll see what he says
very
here.
Charming. I like Tom Cotton. I always like Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss, very charming person. I like all these people. I always like Mark Levin. Like, I got along with him. I mean, he's blowhard, sad personal life and all that, but I was never mad at Mark Levin or Hannity. I like Hannity.
Brilliant constitutional guy.
Yeah, there are great things about all these people. I don't think they hate me personally. They know I'm not working for Qatar.
First of all, that is the fakest laugh I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like maybe I should be working for Qatar. Like, what the hell at this point? I've never taken a dime from any foreign country or anybody, actually.
Right, so that's his claim. He's never taken any money from any foreign country or anyone actually. However, apparently this is an actual screenshot that does show, again, whatever, these are just an allegation. I don't know if this is true. But apparently, the foreign embassy of the state of Qatar gave Tucker Carlson money for an interview with the Prime Minister of Qatar regarding the war with Iran. The Prime Minister of Qatar is being attacked in the media for wanting to stop the war. And allegedly, he made money off of this. This was a paid propaganda piece in which over $200,000 was paid by the embassy of the state of Qatar for Tucker to interview a Qatari official while knowing that Hamas is an Iranian proxy and also funded by Qatar. Qatar funds Islamic terror all around the world, and they can just pay everyone off to make them turn a blind eye. These are not good people. Now, I'll be real. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true, if it's not true, but apparently he was paid $200,000 for this. I'm going to just show you his response. So Tucker Carlson actually retweeted this tweet, which is how I found it. Allegations that Tucker Carlson or Tucker Carlson Network took money from any foreign country for an interview for any reason are categorically, definitively false and defamatory. Neither Tucker nor TCN has taken a penny from Qatar or any foreign country. To the contrary, TCN bought out all of its investors last March to achieve total and absolute independence. Almost no other media company can do this as well. So he's obviously denying it. Now, I don't know if this is true, if this is not true. I am just I'm doing my due diligence by covering both sides of this story. Also noticing a lot of weird idiosyncrasies with Tucker Carlson and a lot of interesting perspectives he seems to have taken. So here is his actual full interview. He did a 2-hour interview with this guy, and they cover a lot of topics. Why does Cruz want regime change in Iran? Now, to be honest, Iran's current regime is a fucking tyrannical, dictatorial regime. I think everyone wants a regime change in Iran, except a lot of people don't actually want to go to war over it. Is the U.S. currently acting in its own best interest? The answer, we'll just watch this clip specifically, I think. I want to see this, what he actually says.
Just to make, I don't think I disagree with anything you've said, so we may not be that far apart, really.
So that's what they're talking about, the actual regime in Qatar. Personally, I don't want America to get involved in a regime change war. However, I would love if the people backed the the prince that is in exile and did overthrow the regime, because I think the regime are Islamic radical, far retarded retards that are just executing people for, showing their hair in public and stuff.
Because you said that the single criterion for making decisions about America's foreign policy is America's national interest.
Yes.
That's it.
100%. Absolutely. America's number one goal should always be America, obviously.
Yeah. Which is also America first. That's another way of putting that as well.
I think it's the definition of it.
Yeah.
It's hardly breaking news. The U.S. freedom to you just.
All right.
From what you've said publicly, I think on Iran in particular, you and I disagree. And all right, let me contrast it when Obama was president. When Obama was president, you remember he talked about wanting to have military action against Syria.
Bro, that was it? That was the whole clip? That was the whole, is the U.S. acting in its own best interest? The answer was just a 1-minute yes and then an ad. Wow, that's crazy. Obviously, yes. You don't want Iran to have nukes. Obviously, fucking yes. So was the Iraq war a mistake? Why aren't U.S. politicians focusing on fixing America's problems? Fantastic question. How much money is the U.S. sending Israel? We already know this. Does Cruz think it's okay that foreign governments spy on America? I don't even know. What the fuck? That's retarded. So much money. How much money has Ted Cruz taken from AIPAC? Ooh, that's interesting. Not really the topic, but interesting. To what extent is the U.S. government influenced by foreign governments? By the way, my hot take is I don't think there should be any foreign money. I don't think there should be any foreign money in lobbying politicians in America, and that includes every single lobbying group should not be allowed. I don't think Qatar should be allowed to give billions of dollars to universities to push specific agendas, or to push specific politicians. I don't think this should happen anywhere. Personally, is Israel of the Bible the same as current Israeli government? Dog. What? There's no way this is a topic. Okay, I don't even care. Well, how does funding Israel benefit the U.S.? How does... I want to see the Iran. What happens next in Iran? Are the Iranian assassins trying to kill Trump? All right. Let's see. Are the Iranian assassins trying to kill Trump?
With these things, and they speak, as you do, entirely in moral terms. These people are bad. These people are...
I'm not speaking entirely in moral terms. I'm interested in killing people who are trying to kill us.
If we had...
That's different.
Understandable.
Are you now? Because you told me that the government of Iran is presently trying to assassinate Donald Trump, and then you
that
said...
is undisputed.
True, they've literally had evidence. The Department of Justice said this. Wait, he's not making this up.
There's literally nobody who disputes that fact.
Then why don't you support military action right now against Iran?
We are engaged in military action right now.
Why don't you support offensive military action?
Dude, this is crazy. Like, he's playing both sides so badly.
Bombing the crap out of them. Israel is, and we're supporting them. Israel is.
Okay, so why shouldn't the U.S. military defend its own president? I don't understand that.
Look, and it goes back to...
Because you don't really believe it's true, that's why.
Nobody disputes it, Tucker. Did we land on the moon? What other conspiracies do you not believe? Was 9/11 an inside job? I mean, like what?
So where... I've asked you the names of these people. I've asked
I don't
you how
know the
you
names
know
of the hitmen. I know it because the U.S. military and the intelligence agencies have testified before Congress repeatedly.
And what did they say?
That Iran is trying to murder Donald Trump and has hired hitmen. Do I know the name of the hitmen? No, I'm sorry. And I don't think we do either, because we would apprehend them if we knew their names.
Then why don't you take it seriously enough to support killing the Ayatollah in response to protect our president? But you don't. This doesn't even make any sense. And you're calling me an isolationist. If I believed that was true, I would support military action against the government of Iran.
Wait, so he just straight up doesn't believe... Wait. He just straight up doesn't believe all the reports that say that there were Iranian people trying to kill Trump. He just straight up doesn't believe what the Department of Justice says. Like, dude, like, I love a good conspiracy theory. I love doubting things in general. I do. However, there are some things that it's like, well, I didn't personally see 60% enriched uranium. It's like, well, yeah, true. And I see so many people saying, where's the evidence that Iran had 60% enriched uranium? How the fuck would you see the evidence? How would you see it? The United Nations says it. The CIA says it. The Mossad says it. Every country intelligence on the planet says it. All right, every single one. I don't understand. What is going on? What kind of evidence do you need to see?
Iran.
Okay, that's interesting because there is literally...
You can't kill our president.
All right, out of 535 members of Congress, I am not aware of one who disputes that Iran is trying to murder Donald J. Trump. That's not... even the...
Iran says it themselves! I'm going to show it to you in a minute. They literally posted another tweet. Propaganda trying to kill Trump.
The Democrat doesn't dispute that. So I don't... You're saying if...
He's so shocked that he doesn't believe this.
If you believed what is, I think, a fact that they are trying to...
You think it's a fact?
Yes.
What is the fact exactly?
That they tried to kill Trump.
Where did in the United States?
Yes.
Americans?
Yeah, he's not in Iran, so they haven't hired hitmen.
No, but are they the hitmen American?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you what, and by the way, I'm not the CIA. I'm not the Department of Defense. I'm telling you what they have told us.
I'm not disputing it. I'm merely saying
we are.
That I'm not. I'm saying the logic train has a massive hole in it. If you believe that's true, then you should, by definition, support killing the people trying to kill our president. But you don't support that.
Now, Tucker,
so I'm wondering what's going on here.
Tucker, you took
He literally is supporting that, though. Like, he is supporting the fact that Israel is doing this without risking any American soldiers.
offense to the word isolation.
I'm not disputing it. I'm just saying you're lying.
And I genuinely don't mean it as a pejorative. I disagree with it. But if you don't like that term, I don't know how else to describe what is a coherent foreign policy that says we're surrounded by two giant nations. By the way, isolationism has long been a school of foreign policy.
I believe in self-defense. I'm not
okay, but
not into the slurs, the anti-Semite stuff. I just don't like that. I'm telling you what I believe.
But is there a single military action Trump took that you agree with? So did you agree with taking out General Soleimani?
Oh, I don't know. It turned out better than I...
No way, bro! What? See, this is when anti-war just becomes retarded. All right, hot take. This is why anti-war is retarded a little bit. Again, I am also anti-war. I also don't want wars. But dude, if there's a guy that's trying to get nukes to kill you, you obviously want to get rid of them.
I guess.
I mean, you said at the time it would lead us to World War III.
I was worried.
Everything leads us to World War III, bro. Oh, God. For the record, by the way, Qasem Soleimani was an Iranian major general and commander of the Quds Force in 2020 via a drone strike. They got him. All right. Imminent threat. Trump claimed Soleimani was plotting an imminent and sinister attack on American diplomats and military personnel in Iraq and the region. Also, prior attacks. With a lot of escalating tension, deterrence, and strategic pressure. Like, dude, the guy was a mega terrorist. Thank God he's dead. I don't understand why this is, like, so controversial. Look, all right, I think being anti-war is the new being anti-gun, okay? I love the Second Amendment. I love that you can buy a gun in America. It's fucking awesome. You should be able to protect yourself. I really do think that being anti-war is the same as being anti-gun. It's like saying there are school shootings and therefore no one should have guns. Is like saying innocent people die in war and therefore you shouldn't bomb nuclear power plants from a country that literally wants to annihilate you.
Read about it. I've seen that happen.
But that proved not the case.
I was wrong.
I'm just saying, nothing ever happens. I'm locking in. I was right so far with all of my predictions in this war. Literally, you're going to see this is not going to be World War III. Chill the fuck out. They're going to get obliterated. We move on. I'm telling you.
As I have been many times.
Did you agree with taking out the ISIS caliphate?
Well, if we took out the ISIS caliphate, why are they running Syria right now? And you're for that. Why is that?
What do you mean? I didn't say I'm for that.
You don't seem to have a problem with it.
I didn't say
ISIS
that.
is now running Syria. You're like, we'll see.
No, I did.
Look, I mean, I know why.
But by the way, I didn't push Assad out. Assad toppled.
It's hilarious.
You know where?
It's bad, but no, ISIS runs Syria, but it's fine. We'll just kind of wait and see on ISIS. Not a big deal.
You know
not
why?
a big deal. They're trying to kill Trump.
Hold on a second. I want to get back. You know why I don't care, and why? And you do your trademark smirky laugh. I know why you don't care.
What are you even talking about?
What? Why?
Well, we know why he's laughing. He's laughing because obviously Assad was bad for Israel. And now the current government in Syria seems to be better for Israel. That's why he's laughing. Because somehow a lot of his foreign policy is dictated by Israel bad.
Don't I care?
I don't know why. You tell me. Because you think it's okay because they're not making angry noises or something. But by your own standards, ISIS is so immoral that they must die. But now they're running...
But they're not trying to kill America right now, dude. That's the difference. Dude, you think America just goes around the world and just murders random people because they're immoral? They murder people when it is a threat to America. Like when they're trying to develop nuclear weapons that literally they say death to America, they want to bomb America. That's when they intervene. They don't intervene every time something immoral happens, ever. And by the way, I think this is something important to mention. Did you know that 1,000 Christians were just killed in Nigeria? And I didn't see a single one of these clowns talk about it. I was going to make an entire video on it, but I got very, very limited information. But it is an unbelievable tragedy. Like an unfathomably fucking horrible tragedy. And for some reason, no one seems to give a shit. I don't know why. I don't know why, but no one cares. And it's so brutal to see people pick and choose things that they care about, specifically and coincidentally things that align with what what their stances are in the world. Anyway, I think I saw enough of this interview, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It really just kind of seems to be like a lot of yapping, a lot of trying to get gotcha moments, and I don't really understand it, to be honest. Again, I don't hate Tucker Carlson. I don't. I'm disappointed in him right now, but I don't dislike the guy. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked at how his stance is that we should not want Iran to not have nuclear weapons. I think wanting Iran to not have nuclear weapons might be the most basic take in the history of all time. Again, I understand not wanting American troops on the ground, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, this, by the way, is a brand new Iran propaganda video just released about assassinating Trump. Right? Trump's house. This was just released by Iran today, by the way. Oh my god. Anyway, you get the idea. These guys are fucking cooked. They're getting obliterated by a country the size of New Jersey right now. They're not messing with America, okay? This is like obviously retarded. But the point that I'm trying to make is they're releasing this now! They're literally releasing this right now! It's crazy. It is insane. Bro, fucking wild. Anywho, in other fun news, so this is Ayatollah Khamenei before the Iranian parliament. Khamenei is our leader, right? This is the fucking regime. Death to America, you know, the classic. The U.S. authorities complain and ask, why do Iranians say death to America? Let me make something clear for U.S. leaders. Death to America means death to Trump, John Bolton, Mike Pompeo. They're very upfront about this, by the way, okay? This is not like a controversial statement. This is like, they say this shit all the time. They say this shit literally all the time. Now, I wanted to get you into some other interest. This is currently Iran. By the way, this is the actual regime police headquarters. I just wanted to show you this because I thought you would find this funny, that they're actually trying to beef with America. That's personally what I think is funny about this. The fact that Israel, a country the size of New Jersey, okay? The size of New Jersey is absolutely obliterating these motherfuckers. Bro, and Khamenei, from his actual Twitter account, is saying, the harm the U.S. will suffer will definitely be irreparable if they enter this conflict militarily. And it's like, bro, you are in a bunker. What are you talking? You are gonna get destroyed, bro. Anywho, this is the entire Iranian parliament chanting death to America. Yeah, although for some reason, Tucker Carlson thinks that they don't actually dislike America. Now, if you look at the actual media, it's embarrassing. This is damage from Israel's strike on Ramat Gan in Iran. Except it's not. Ramat Gan is in Israel. This is Iran's strike. The media is trying so hard to make it look like Iran is winning. They are not. They are fucking horrible. Now, interestingly enough, whenever Trump killed an ISIS guy, everyone was cheering. Everyone was all for it. Everyone was like super happy. But the thought of taking out nuclear reactors in Iran is too much. Too much. Now, this is what's going on right now in Iran. You will notice something interesting here. It is a woman actually showing her hair on television. Now, this is illegal in Iran. In fact, if a woman shows their hair in public, they could get stoned to death in Iran. It is fucking crazy over there. However, Iranian television broadcast was hacked by Israel, and it was calling on Iranian residents to protest. They fucking hacked the media feed. This is on television in Iran now, which is fucking hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. Now, this is the wildest part. Tel Aviv under attack. This is a 5-hour ago missile barrage from Iran. The preliminary reports are 2 ballistic missiles were launched. One of them was intercepted, and the other fell in Jordan, another country. Iran is getting absolutely curb stomped, and Trump is taking all the credit for it. I mean, let's be real. This is currently Tehran, the capital of Iran right now. It's like, again, everyone keeps yelling and screaming that you know, not our war, but you're okay, fine. It's happening regardless. I think that this is like one of the craziest Trump W's ever. Like the fact that that America is kind of winning a war that not a single soldier has to risk their life for is incredible, dude. So Trump, I told Netanyahu, keep going. Trump, Iran has reached out. I said it's very late. Trump, they're totally defenseless. They have no air defense whatsoever. And bro just keeps fucking going. Trump, We might strike Iran. We might not strike Iran. It's just fucking cooking, bro. This is insane. Justin Trump, Iran wants to negotiate. It's like, oh shit, Iran wants to negotiate. So anyway, Khamenei, of course, the U.S. entering this war will be to its own detriment, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you're fucking cooked. Okay, can we stop? Can we stop? Stop doing this. Breaking news, Israel destroyed most of Iran's air defenses, and the U.S. official tell Washington Post. In my opinion, they are absolutely obliterated. Like, completely obliterated. I think everyone that thinks Trump is now a warmonger all of a sudden because he supports the idea that his ally is taking out nuclear power plants from a country that wants to destroy the United States, you're all retarded. All right? That's my opinion. You're all retarded. Israel destroyed most of Iran's air defense. Yeah, because Trump didn't do shit, except for basically give money to the people that actually are doing all of this. And he gets credit, and he deserves credit, because he's funding it. So, to be honest, this is like an unbelievable peace through strength mentality. And I think all these anti-war people that make believe they're anti-war, but they're not actually anti-war. They're not actually anti-war. They don't actually care about that. They're just kind of anti-something else. I'll let you figure out what you think they are anti. I'll let you come to your own conclusion. I'm not trying to bring you analyses here of my own. I'm just making fun of retards. This time the retards are Iran and the anti-war people that don't want to take out the nuclear reactors of someone that wants to murder you. So this was Trump literally now. This happened a few minutes ago while I was live. And let's see what he has to say.
Diplomatic negotiation.
Yeah.
Now, you seem very open to the idea of potentially taking U.S. action. Obviously, you're not going to tell us that. Can you walk us through what contributed to that change, how you got to where you are in making your decision now?
Well, I think it started the first night. I mean, that first night was devastating.
Yep.
And it really knocked the one side off, as you know. Devastating evening, day, and it pretty much proceeded that way. I have a meeting in the war room in a little while.
Oh, shit.
Situation room, as some people call it.
Oh, shit.
So we're going to meet. We're going to see. We're in the midst of it's a terrible thing. I hate to see it. I hate to see all that death. So much death and destruction.
Death is bad.
But death primarily
I agree.
is what I hate to see.
Does that mean you haven't made a decision yet on what to do?
I have ideas as to what to do, but I haven't made a final. I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, because...
Keep him guessing! Keep him guessing! Oh my god, it's crazy! Keep him freaking guessing! He's sitting there the whole time. We might bomb them, we might not bomb them. Meanwhile, they're getting absolutely fucking obliterated. And he might, who knows? We'll see what happens. That's crazy. Dude, this is wild.
Things change. I mean, especially with war. Things change with war. It can go from one extreme to the other. War is very bad. There was no reason for...
Hot take, war bad.
...this to be a war. There was no reason for Russia, Ukraine.
He's right. There is no reason for this to be a war. The only reason why this is a war is because Iran refused to stop enriching uranium at nuclear weapon grade capacity. They refused to stop. He warned them, and what can I say? You made your own bed, you lie in it, bro. This is classic FAFO material. Classic fuck around, find out. I live for this shit. I do. I live for a good classic fuck around, find out. It's what I am here for. Iran was warned not to have weapons grade uranium. Iran broke their promise. They fucked around, and they found out. I mean, America did commit war crimes as well. I think it's important to note. For example, Trump is wearing this tie. I don't know what the fuck, man. My retinas are literally on fire. But other than this tie, it was just a colossal W in general.
A lot of wars there was no reason for. You look right up there, I don't know, see the Declaration of Independence, and I say, I wonder if the Civil War, it always seemed to me maybe that could have been solved without losing 600,000 plus people. So a lot of, it's very sad to see. It's very sad to see what's happening. But with that being said, I would say right now, Israel, from the standpoint of winning a war, is doing pretty well. Yeah,
Israel fucking destroyed them. No matter how much actual media bullshit that they push out, they have been doing endless amount of propagandizing. Even right now, they shut off the internet of their entire population in Iran so that no one can know how badly they're actually getting cooked. And by the way, they are getting cooked.
President, in your meeting today with the Chief of Staff of the Pakistani Army, did you talk about Iran? Did that come up? Is there anything you can share from that meeting?
Yeah, well, they know Iran very well, better than most. And they're not happy about anything. It's not that they're bad with Israel. They know them both, actually, but they probably, maybe they know Iran better. But they see what's going on, and he agreed with me. The reason I had him here, I wanted to thank him for not going into the war, just, ending the war. And I want to thank...
With India, he means.
As you know, Prime Minister Modi just left just a little while ago, just left, and we're working a trade deal with India. We're working a trade deal with Pakistan, and they were both here. But I was with Modi a few weeks ago. He was here, actually.
Modi.
But now we speak to him, and I'm so happy. There was a deal that two smart people, plus, you know, they have people on their staff too, but two smart people, two very smart people decided not to keep going with that war. That could have been a nuclear war. Those are two nuclear powers.
That is true.
Big ones. Big nuclear powers. And they decided not. So I was honored to meet him today.
And if I could keep it, sir, and for anyone who may want to answer, how has the travel bans from certain countries affected fans maybe coming in for the games, or is that not?
Johnny, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's not a concern for us. For the games now in the Club World Cup, everything has been done in a very smooth way. We have an excellent collaboration, of course, with the president, but with the task force in particular. For next year, the World Cup, we have one more year to work, and the learnings that we have this year with the Club World Cup, which is
from soccer to Iran, back to back. What the hell, man?
Historic. I say this to all the Americans because it's the first ever Club World Cup, and it's played in the United States of America. So the learnings we'll have for this will apply them next year.
And they're largely sold out, so I don't know. I don't think he's too worried about the travel ban. He doesn't know what the travel ban is, I don't think. Johnny, tell me what the travel ban is. He doesn't know what it is. He's largely sold out. Like tonight is totally... I've had friends, they heard about this meeting. They said, can you give me tickets? I don't know if I can get tickets. He won't give them to me.
We can speak.
Maybe John will give them to me. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, two questions, if I could. One about Iran and then one domestically. With Iran, what's your message to Americans both here and abroad who are not only concerned about the U.S. potentially getting involved in another conflict in the Middle East, but worry about the potential for retaliation here at home?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get involved either, but I've been saying for 20 years, maybe longer,
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
That Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
He's right. He's so right. I don't know. I don't understand. Dude, I'm getting so mad at the retards. There are so many retards, bro. There are so many retards.
I've been saying it for a long time. And I think they were a few weeks away from having one. And they had to sign a document. I think they wish they signed it now.
Oh, do they wish? How do they wish? Dude, they thought Trump didn't have the balls to sign off an attack on their nuclear sites. They thought Trump did not have the balls for it. And they thought that Israel didn't have the balls for it either. And they did. They absolutely did. They fucking stood up and they rose like lions, as they say. They fucking annihilated them. They obliterated them. They all thought that, we'll just string Trump along until we actually have weapons-grade uranium and build a couple of nukes. Actual fucking massive error. Gigantic tactical shit in their pants. This is wild. Wild!
Deal. And now it's a harder thing to sign, you know. It's a lot of water over the dam, but...
yeah, it's over. They lost their chance. He gave them ample opportunity. He gave them 60 days to make a deal. And on day 61, they didn't make a deal. They strung him along. They tried to make a nuke. And Israel bombed the fuck out of him.
You know, it's very... I say it very simply. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon.
True.
Too much devastation.
True.
And they'd use it. You know, I believe
they would use it.
Others won't use it.
They would use it. They literally would.
But I believe they'd use it. So that's it. It's very simple as far as I'm concerned. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
And then domestically, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley came out this week as the lead sponsor of a bill to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. It stands out because he's a Republican. There's still 20 states that have it at $7.25. Do you support the legislation or the idea?
Well, I haven't seen it. I'd have to speak to Josh. He's a very good friend of mine. That's interesting that Josh did that. I'm going to have to think about that one.
All right.
Some people agree with it. Some people don't. You know, some people say it really turns away business. Restaurants close and a lot of things happen. Other people agree. I'd have to speak to Josh. He's a good guy.
For the possibility of an Iran deal, is the destruction or the dismantling of the Fordow nuclear enrichment center, is that a prerequisite for a deal? Is that a red line for you?
No, it's just something that people talk about.
Bro. It's over. It's over. There's no deal. Okay? Wake up. So many people like talking about like this. Bro, there's no deal. They got fucking bombed to next week. There's no deal. They will not have nuclear weapons. They had the opportunity to do it through diplomacy, and now it will happen through force.
About having, we're the only ones that have the capability to do it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it at all. Yeah, we have the best military equipment in the world. You see that with this fight.
America.
We have planes that are undetectable.
Oh, shit. In fact, just me telling you this is the first time anyone's heard of them. They're so undetectable. No, but the craziest shit is, bro, Israel's using American weapons, and they fucking obliterated the shit out of them. It's crazy.
Flying around like, nobody's able to see him stealth. You guys want to be stealthy tonight. You can be stealth, you'll never lose, right?
True.
But these are incredible planes and weapons. We have the best weapons in the world, by far. Nobody close. And certain countries take advantage of that. Israel has incredible weaponry.
True.
So we'll see what happens. I have not.
To be honest, Trump wants the Golden Dome, which is just basically based off the Iron Dome. The missile defense system in Israel, I think, is it's the top in the world. I think largely because Israel has been under attack by terrorists that have been shooting missiles into their cities for years. So they've had all the chance to work out the kinks on that shit. I don't know. I feel like it's an interesting partnership. The weapon development in Israel and the USA. But nah, dude, there's no country on planet is even close in power to the United States right now. Like, everyone thought Russia was up there with the United States, and now we see the way Russia's getting absolutely butt-fucked. Like, in their war with Ukraine, they can't conquer Ukraine. And everyone's like, yeah, America's a world power. Thank you, Russia.
I've been asked about it by everybody, but I haven't made a decision.
Mr. President, you talked earlier today about having daily conversations with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Yeah.
How have those conversations weighed on you in terms of getting more involved? He's been lobbying for the U.S. to get more involved.
All right, let's see.
Has that had an impact in kind of your evolution, sir?
Look, we talk, and I'd like to see everything done. I would have preferred having just an agreement, a strong agreement.
He tried. Look, man, you cannot say Trump didn't try to make a deal. He tried so hard to make a deal. He gave them 60 days. He tried everything. And Israel, who, by the way, they're only 2,000 miles away from Iran. If Iran would get nukes, Israel would be nuked on day one. Literally, they would be. Because, Iran sponsors the Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas, who all are constantly attacking Israel. So, no shit, that would happen immediately. Yeah, they were like, we're not waiting. We're not waiting until Hitler gets nukes. We're gonna fucking take them out first, actually.
Verifiable agreement. But it was such a shame. They were so close.
Yeah.
Iran was very close to signing what would have been a very good agreement for them. And maybe that could still happen, I guess. They do want to come and see us. They want to see me in the White House. That's a big statement.
Bro, wait. Dude, of course they want to see him in the White House. The Ayatollah regime in Iran wants to go meet Trump in the White House? Anything to leave that bunker. Anything to leave the bunker. That's not happening. That is not happening.
But it's very late.
It's late. No shit, it's late. Yeah, now they'd like to suck his schmorgel and kiss his ring. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Now they would do whatever he wants, bro. They do whatever he wants. Yeah. No shit. Yeah, he got fucking owned. They got cooked.
Is it enough of a statement to hold off getting...
We're going to see what happens. Look, we're going to see what happens. Ending it as soon as you can would be good.
Have you closed the door on meeting with them?
No.
Okay, so it's still open to them.
Negotiations are always available. You just have to make it sexy.
Coming here in Europe.
Yeah, they asked if they could come. We'll see if that happens. It's not that easy for them to come. They can't.
Yeah, no shit. Israel owns the airspace above Iran.
Get out.
They can't get out, bro.
No, they're in Iran, and in one case, the guy wanted to come so badly, but he can't get out because his bombs dropping all over the place.
Have you seen the Tucker Carlson, Senator Ted Cruz interview?
All right, that's what I wanted to see.
It seems like this issue on whether or not the United States should strike is kind of dividing a lot of your...
You can tell that's a CNN question. It just wants to divide the Republicans, even though it's not working.
Supporters.
No, my supporters are for me.
He's right, by the way. And we saw the polls. 89% of the Republicans, 83%, sorry, want Iran to not have a nuke. And 69% even endorse military action. I'll be real here. It's not happening. Just because there's a couple of podcasters that went a little bit wild. I don't think that necessarily weakens his party as much as everyone wants to make it look like. People are trying so hard to attack Trump over this because they want to attack Trump over everything. They attacked him over egg prices the moment he went into power. Like, fuck you guys. Stop being such bitches. Have a little bit faith in the guy you elected.
My supporters are America first. They make America great again. My supporters don't want to see Iran.
And anyone that's America first shouldn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. It's literally as simple as that. It has nothing to do with Israel.
Nuclear weapon. Tucker's a nice guy. He called and apologized the other day.
Oh shit. Tucker Carlson called him to apologize? Damn. Okay.
Because he thought he said things that were a little bit too strong, and I appreciated that. And Ted Cruz is a nice guy. I mean, he's been with me for for a long time. I'd say once the race was over, he's been with me ever since, right? But very simple. If they think that it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon, then they should oppose me, but nobody thinks it's okay.
Literally no one thinks this. It's crazy.
People that I don't want to fight either. I'm not looking to fight.
Dude, no one wants a war. That's why I hate the anti-war statement. I'm anti-war. Oh, really? Well, I'm anti-pedophile. Okay, I'm actually anti-diarrhea. That's my stance. You can hate me if you want, but I'm anti-diarrhea. Like, dude, that's why it's so frustrating. It's like, dude, stop. Stop being such a fucking grifty bitch.
But if it's a choice between fighting and them having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do. Maybe we won't have to fight. Don't forget, we haven't been fighting. We had a certain...
The Ayatollah, their breasts are empty. Do you know what that smells like? That was a reference to a previous video about activists marching to Gaza. It's one of my greatest videos ever.
Amount of genius to everything, but we haven't been fighting at all. Israel's done a very good job of that, but we'll see what happens. The bottom line is they can't have nuclear, and I can't imagine that Ted Cruz said it's okay for Iran to have nuclear, including Tucker. I don't think Tucker says it's okay.
That's the craziest part, by the way. That is literally the craziest part. No one thinks Iran should have nukes. So the whole fucking debate about this with Trump is retarded. It is so retarded. It's just people that don't like Israel and people that are neutral about Israel. That is literally the two parties here. Because literally everyone is on the same page that Iran should not have nuclear weapons. Unless you're, of course, some Pakistani Twitter account that is trying to annoy people in America. It's wacky, bro.
Problem is, then they get themselves into a thing. They don't want them to have nuclear, but then they say, well, we don't want to fight. Well, you're going to have to make a choice.
Make a choice, bro. He's so right. Dude, he's completely right. It's why it's so frustrating watching these retards yammer and jabber from their little fucking ivory towers, saying I'm anti-war like that's a stance that actually means something. These guys suck, okay? They're pathetic, and they're children. They are actually children. I'm anti-war. He's so right. If Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon by any means, they cannot have a nuclear weapon. If that's the stance, and they are not willing to make a deal, then obviously bombing is the only solution. Trump managed to do it in a way that not a single American soldier is on the ground, and Israel basically did everything. This is the ultimate W for the Western world.
Because it's possible that you're going to have to fight for them not to have nuclear. And it's interesting because I did ask Tucker, I said, well...
Like, imagine saying, like, bro, you can't have nuclear weapons. And they're like, no, we're doing it anyway. And you're like, no, you can't. And they're like, no, we're going to do it. No! I'm telling you no! Okay, we're just going to do it. All right, at that point, what do? At that point, what happens?
Are you okay with nuclear weapons being in the hands of Iran? And he sort of didn't like that. He didn't want to really... But
he didn't want to answer. He didn't want to answer. What the fuck happened to him? He didn't want to answer. How could some people be pro-Iran having nuclear weapons? They're literally a terrorist regime. They sponsor terrorist organizations. They behead their own people for protesting. Like, what is going on?
But I didn't like that. And I said, well, if it's okay with you, then you and I do have a difference.
Yeah, no shit.
But it's really not okay with him. Therefore, you may have to fight. And maybe it'll end, and maybe it'll end very quickly.
That's the goal. So my prediction was it'll be like a week or two. That's what I said in the very beginning. I'm still saying, feet on the ground, nothing ever happens. 1 or 2 weeks, okay? 1 to 2 weeks.
But there's no way that you can allow...
This is not going to be some infinitely long war. It's not happening.
Fight or not, you can allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon because the entire world will blow up.
He's right.
You're not gonna let that...
And Israel actually had the balls to do something about it. And I'm very grateful for that personally. Fuck yeah.
Mr. President, you had a bit of a row with President Emmanuel Macron of France. The
French guy, that guy's also what a bozo.
The other day, the G7, it sounded like.
He's a nice guy. Look, he said I was going back home to make a ceasefire. Not a ceasefire. We're long beyond ceasefire.
Oh, yes. Ceasefire means pause. There's no pause, all right? We want the end, okay? No pause.
And I said, why do you say that? Why would you say ceasefire? It's a bad term to use. Because a ceasefire means like everything's going swimmingly, we'll take a little time off.
No.
We're not looking for a ceasefire. We're looking for a total, complete victory.
Bro's cooking.
Again, you know what the victory is. No nuclear weapon.
Yep, however that happens. No pause, no ceasefire. No, give them some time to rebuild. No. The time to talk has come and gone. I'm sorry, bro. The only thing the French are professional at is surrendering. Okay, dude? Sorry, bro. Victory.
Mr. President.
Dude's literally winning a war that he's not even in. This is crazy. America, fuck yeah.
So I thought it was a very badly worded statement by him, and obviously I let him know that.
Agreed. You shouldn't let Iran even think that a ceasefire is on the table. You should not even let Iran think or presume that it is possible that a ceasefire could happen, because a ceasefire cannot happen until there is absolutely zero possibility of them getting nuclear weapons. This shit's happening now. You don't want another one of these wars in 5 years when they actually start rebuilding it, right? No one wants that. Victory.
On the southern border, you've had record low numbers for the month of May, 90 detentions, 0 releases, compared to that of the previous administration exactly a year ago, more than 60,000 releases. What do you attribute that success to?
New president! What do you mean, what do you attribute that? Under Biden, a lot of fucking illegal people got in. Under Trump, illegal people aren't getting in. Why do you think that is? Oh, I don't know.
Like you. Who are you with?
Turning Point USA, sir.
Well, they're very good.
They're good. Thank you for glazing me. I approve. A little glaze. Never hurt anyone.
Turning Point, Charlie. Very good.
Hey, Turning Point USA. It's Charlie Kirk. Of course it's pro the border. Of course he's asking questions about the border. All right, dude. Fucking bays.
See, that's what I call a good question, fellas. 1 out of 10, John. 1 out of 10, but that's a really good question. No, we had record good numbers on the border. And people are coming in, but they have to come in legally. Like some of these guys behind me, they have to come in legally. If they come in legally, we want them. They have to say they love America. They love our country.
Dude, I don't know, man. Am I the only one here that's just breathing and just enjoying America more now? God, I love America. I really do. But goddamn, man, that's what I like to hear. If you are coming to America, you gotta love America, you know? No more of this pussy shit. Oh, I'm coming to America, but I actually want to contribute to the downfall of Western civilization.
Country.
Shout out to England.
And if they can't say that, we don't want them. Thank you very much. Very nice. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, so anyway, in conclusion, Trump does not want a ceasefire. He wants complete and total victory. Tucker Carlson, I'm surprised with the way this debate actually went. I really am. You know, all right, Ted Cruz. All right, Ted Cruz. You're part of this war in Iran. Name every Iranian. All right. Anyway, subscribe for a list of every Iranian. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'll be honest. I think my takes are correct and everyone else's are wrong. You might disagree with my takes, but you only disagree with them because I do not hedge my bets. Okay? I never give you the half-truths. I say my whole opinion, my whole asshole is on the line. Even if you disagree with me 20% of the time, that is totally okay with me. I encourage you to think for yourself and come to your own conclusion. But I think I'm right. In fact, I always think I'm right until I'm proven wrong. Which, who knows? Maybe this time I will be. Probably not. Anyway, see you in the next one, gamers. Nux is always right. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.